Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got some good questions from some viewers and some patrons. And so I just feel like I want to do a bunch of these questions. So first of all, Natalie asks, why has Bernie lost the primaries? And will the movement he started continue? And will Biden beat Trump? Those are all very good questions. Okay, so why has Bernie lagged behind Biden in the primaries? Spirit, what is the answer to that question? Well, we've got the victory card. We've got the Six of Wands. We've got the political debate card. We've got the Five of Wands. Something with the debates then. We have the Ace of Coins. Opportunity for financial. That's why. I think that's why. So, okay, he did have some victories, for one thing. That's what the victory card is saying. Yes, and his movement will continue. It's been a victory, and I heard this in 2018 too. This is continued. You know, the fact that he's talking about universal health care, and almost all Americans think we can have it and think we should have it, and are not buying this nonsense that it would be a bad thing for us. So there's a victory. There are plenty of victories. You know, he keeps on talking about that richest 1%. He's not going to stop talking about it. And America talks about it now. So I do keep hearing that those victories are there regardless of whether he got the primaries or not. You know, he's still in the running. It's not over yet. And especially with COVID-19 in the mix, and we don't know who's getting sick when or if, you know, it's not done yet. So hang on. Okay, I'm back. All right. Also, yes, the security piece. So in fact, Trump has done such a number on the electorate that everybody still wants change, but is a little bit more afraid of it. A little more, you know, if they want that feeling of security. And so Biden gets the advantage because, well, he was Obama's vice. And people are now romanticizing the days of Obama. And, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we had smart people or people who understand government or people who can work with our allies or people who, you know, are sane. That would be nice to have that in the White House. And so I've heard that too. You know, people worry about Bernie, you know, wanting change, pushing too hard, because people wanting change is how we got Trump. And you know what? The Democrats who voted for Bernie in 2016 need to remember that they're not the ones who voted for Trump. You know, I mean, their judgment wasn't flawed. So I don't know, but it's like people want that security. And in the political debates, something about the political debates, yes, he seemed too, I mean, I liked it. I liked him very forcefully saying this is the problem. But apparently there were some voters who said, well, we don't want to hear anger. We don't want to hear that kind of push. We don't want to hear that kind of, you know, stark rhetoric from our candidates, because there's too much of that from Trump. Even though you can't compare the two at all, there were enough voters who did, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's see. And will his movement continue? I think we've already got that. Will his movement continue? Will the left, this is what I'm wondering, regardless of who gets in, will they be pulled further left, whether they ever intended to or not? You know, that's what I kind of wanted to know. King of, and to be pulled to the left, frankly, because the Democratic Party has gotten pulled to the right so much more over the decades. Pulled to the left would be sort of back to where the Democratic Party used to be. Okay, we've got the King of Coins. We've got the Three of Coins, and we've got the Seven of Wands. Well, I don't like these cards, because they're really kind of the establishment, king of coins, the politicians that take donations from big money. Three of coins, standing their ground. I don't know. I think it doesn't, I know it doesn't end. I know that the ideas and the concepts do not end. I think there is a delay in implementing them. Spirit, tell us more about that. Well, we do have the King of Wands. We got the Four of Coins. And we have the Magician. Interesting. I think that there's more movement in Congress, actually, for some reason. And the Senate. Like Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, those kinds of guys. There's more movement there toward the left for some reason. But we have that Four of Coins, the focus on staying in there. We can't do anything if we're not in there. And so the Democratic Party feels like they need to go more moderate to stay in there. Okay. But we have the Magician. So there are things that will be manifesting. The story doesn't end if Bernie's campaign ends. The story does not end there. I feel like these concepts are alive and well in the Americans' minds, and they're not going away. But right now, a lot of Americans simply want restabilization more than they want anything. So, because Trump has scared the heck out of us, unfortunately, on a practically daily basis for 3 years now. So that, people just, they want, maybe they can only think, many of them can only think a return to what was before Trump. That doesn't mean the progressive movement ends by any means, because the truths that Bernie brings forth about the growing income inequality, the shrinking middle class, these are simply truths. The fact that healthcare has gotten extremely expensive. Simply facts in the U.S. Most people cannot afford their healthcare. Combined cost of health insurance, the premiums they have to pay. I really do hate it when the politicians talk like employer provided health insurance is just so very wonderful, and ignoring the fact that the vast majority of Americans who have health care through their workplace pay a huge portion of the premium themselves, and that health care insurance has gotten much worse over the years to the point where there's a $3,000 deductible per person, and so many things not covered anyway. So and then almost a third of Americans not covered by anything. So I hate it when the politicians talk like none of that's an issue. That's imaginary. That's not out there. It's the reality for most Americans. So that this is not going away. The idea of health care for all is not going away. The idea of putting heavier taxes on the rich is not going away. So no. Is there anything else on that, Spirit? I just feel that so strong in my bones. I feel that. Three of Swords, right. You know why? Because we keep on having some of the same troubles. The same truths come up. They're not going to get quieter. They're going to get louder. So you can't hide from the truth. And Bernie did a heck of a lot in giving us the language to talk about it and beating that drum over and over and over and over again, so that more and more Americans understood the drum beat, could hear the drum beat, could feel the drum beat. And yeah, that's not going anywhere. So that I believe, and he said something like that recently, that he feels like he's done so much just in that. So that's amazing. Now you ask about, will Biden defeat, why in the world? I wanted to say, will Biden defeat Trump? But instead, I come out saying, could Biden defeat Trump? I just feel like things are not settled yet. And partly because this pandemic drops in the middle of all of it. Okay, but let's ask, could Biden beat Trump? Let's ask that. could Biden beat Trump? Okay. 1, 2, and 3 cards. What are they? Well, Knight of Swords. That suggests to me he could. The 9 of Wands, but he is battle weary. He's in battle. He's going to suffer a lot through this. You know, the Biden gaffes are terrible. He's had some stumbles, you know, and frankly, sometimes he does show his age, you know. And I shouldn't even say that because I know so many people in their 70s who are way sharper than I am. So I shouldn't even say that. Heck, Bernie gets up on stage and there's not one misstep, there's not one stumble, there's not one, I mean, he's sharp. So I shouldn't even say age. But, you know, Biden does have some issues there with, oh, excuse me. Here I'm dropping my cards. With not only gaffes, but a little sloppy thinking that kind of comes forward. So he's gonna get it for that. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal. But yet we have this Knight of Swords, which is usually charging forward for the win, no matter what. You know, just go. And then we have the Ace of Wands. There's an opportunity that comes in for him too. So these cards look favorable for him, that he could beat Trump. Okay. But I don't know why. I feel like my mouth is like, you know, don't say will. Don't say will. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but okay. There may be many things that will change. Maybe it's not even Trump who's in the running. This COVID-19, who knows who it'll strike. All right. Well, I thank you so very much for that question, Natalie. And I'll go on to answer some more. Bye-bye.